if we're going to assume that the laws of physics as we know them are universal, then we're just not being creative enough in our thinking, and we're
That's a great way
limiting
to put
ourselves.
it.
Yeah.
Creative enough in our thinking.
Yeah, we need to expand. This is why Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge, because if you can't imagine that our realm is limited and the laws that are operating here um, are not necessarily universal, that there could be a whole nother set of laws that are operating that we are unaware of or not perceiving, even they may be all around us. Like that law of quantum superposition, it was always there. Oh, it's surrounding us all over the place, and we didn't know about it.
Hmm.
And so, a scientist with a mind like Sariputta or Dr. Richard Thompson, he would read a verse about Mother Yaśodā looking into Krishna's mouth and seeing the entire universe. No, there are verses, right? Brahma Samhita, Andantarastam Paramanu Chadantarastam. Um, what is it that all the universes exist in him? And he is present in his fullness in every atom scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time.
That makes no sense.
Yes, such is the
according to my
primeval Lord
laws.
whom I adore. This is
Yeah.
Lord Brahma speaking, right? The creator of the universe. Now one may say, okay, that's, you know what? I'll give it to you. That's some cool writing. Like that's, like great science fiction you're coming up with here,
Yeah.
But that's only if you're going to make the assumption that cannot be established empirically that the laws of physics are universal, right? If we're going to be truly objective, we have to accept the idea that maybe the laws that we're aware of are not everything, and that there may be other sets of laws, or those laws may be transcended. And so Bhagavatam is pointing us to this idea again and again. And so when we look at Mother Yaśodā looking to Krishna's mouth, we're looking at it on two angles. One is this Rasika angle, which is once you've accepted that these laws, that Krishna isn't bound by these laws, and we aren't ultimately bound by these laws, then you can actually enter into the real realm that we're meant to enter into, the realm of rasa, right? That look at Yaśodā, right? She's not bound by the laws. Her body is not bound by the laws of time, right? She can exist in that beautiful form eternally, right? And her consciousness is not affected by the modes of material nature. She's not being swung this way and that way due to her, let's say, weakness, or her smallness has her, being thrust in this direction and that direction due to the influences of the material realm. She's beyond that, and she's operating in an entirely another realm, an entirely another stage of consciousness, which is our original state of consciousness, pure love, and she's there eternally. We could be as well.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York City, Kaustubha Das. It's Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. I didn't get any sleep last night. This is episode 1654. Welcome to the show. Boom.
What's
Hello,
the matter?
sir.
Why can't you sleep?
Well, we had a cookout last night.
Yeah.
And me and my son and his friend decided to camp outside. Wasn't the camping outside. It was the fact that Gus was outside. My dog. Something's up with my dog.
He goes out howling all night now. What's
All
with that?
night, barks his head off. And he was sleeping next to me outside. I had to carry this 80-pound dog inside.
What's he saying?
I don't know, but I put him down right next to me on the couch, and finally he was peace. But he woke me up like 3 times, and each time I had to go out and comfort him.
Oh.
And I just didn't get a...
Do you think it's spiritual? Do you think it's it's not ordinary?
No, I don't think it is. I wish it was. I wish I could say, I think he's talking to God. I don't think he is.
I don't think
I don't think he is. I think he wakes up, he's lonely and he's lost and he's frustrated and he's doesn't know where he is. And yeah.
So when you're
Anyway,
there,
that's
he
where I'm
feels
at. So I didn't get a
comforted?
solid night of sleep.
He calms down right away once you're there for him.
Not well, yeah. Once you start petting him, he sort of calms down. Then you go back to wherever you were, and he loses his mind again. So you have to like go and sleep with him at the couch, and that's it.
The people need you, Raghunath. All forms of all varieties of life forms.
Yeah. Then I got a call from my. Anyway, I'm not gonna give it to my kids, but yeah. Right.
What was that? We're not going to go there today.
Anyway, how are you? How are
I'm
you?
doing
What's going
good.
on with you? Everything good?
I'm fine.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna see you in New York this weekend.
Yeah,
Gemmashtami.
okay.
We'll
We're
see
going to
you.
have like a Gemmashtami jamboree over here. huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my son. We're gonna go see my mom, and we're gonna go see Lord Krishna. Boom.
Great. Great.
And Mara, what are you gonna do?
Mary coming along?
No, she's.
No, I'm not. My family's around.
I know, but
What
you
does
gotta
that
do
mean your
something for Lord
family's around?
Krishna.
I will.
Her family is coming to visit.
Yeah.
Like brothers and sisters are coming from out
Yeah,
of
my
town?
brother's coming up. I think he arrives tomorrow night, actually.
She's got nice family members that visit her.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we're doing a little family get together at my dad's house on Saturday.
Unlike you and me, our
Well, don't-
family members don't visit us.
But Mary, you have to still honor the day in some form.
I will. I haven't
Okay.
figured out exactly what I'm going to do.
You
but-
help her with that. Raghunath. You two
Yeah.
put together a strategy so that Mara will fully benefit from this spiritual
Oh,
opportunity.
she loves when I tell her what to do.
I'm not saying tell her what to do. I'm saying work with her.
I'll take instruction from you.
She does. Okay, let's get on with the show here.
All right,
Mara,
Mara.
Miss Mara, what we got today?
I
Nothing.
know.
Had nothing.
No announcements, but I do have a nugget.
All right, we'll take that.
Ready
There's
to do
nothing
a
to
nugget?
announce. Nothing.
Well,
We don't do the
I don't wanna keep on
BRG things
announcing
like we
this.
used to, right? BRG today.
yeah, we do. There is a BRG meeting tomorrow night in Philadelphia.
Okay. And then there's
Bhakti
BRG
Garden?
meetings. You need to mention it on occasion, right?
Yeah,
BRG
exactly.
is there for
Every
people
day.
that
Yeah,
need
go
it.
to the online meeting list at backtoyourrecoverygroup.com.
All right.
All right. So today's nugget comes from Blaise Pascal.
Blaise.
Yeah.
Blaise.
Blase.
How do you pronounce it? Is it Blaise?
I don't know.
I thought so, but I could be wrong.
Blaise.
This is
That's right.
this is the Pascal.
Yeah.
Can Blaise. Yeah, we need to check on that. Okay.
Yeah, you can check it out.
What was he famous for? He was a writer.
He was a
Pascal.
French
Philosopher.
physicist, mathematician. I was just reading about him. He's actually got a pretty interesting life, and he passed away before he was 40.
It's all in the bio.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
passed away
wow.
before he was 40.
Yeah, he was a child prodigy.
Oh, another child prodigy. What?
Oh, he's
Maybe
famous for
Martine could tell us how to pronounce his name. She can. post it.
probability theory.
Figured it out when he was a child. He was like a child genius.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I like what he says here.
So he writes, God is an infinite sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere.
Again.
I've got news for you.
What?
One of the chicks died.
Oh, Raghunath, come
One of
on,
the
man.
baby chicks
Let's
died.
focus here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hard-Hearted. What are we supposed to be doing? What's the purpose of this podcast? Soften. Go on.
So God is an infinite sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere.
Stay focused, Raghunath. What do you have to say about that?
God is an infinite sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. I know exactly where you're going with this, Kaustubha.
Oh,
And I've got a feeling today we're going to read about the mind-blowing moment where Mother Yaśodā looks into little Krishna's mouth and sees, boom, the entire universe and
making
everything in the
connections.
universe was right there in his little child's mouth.
Mm.
You're very clever. Good choice of a nugget today.
okay. All right. We have
So
to get to that verse then, because if we don't,
All right.
the nugget
okay, so-
doesn't tie in.
So what Pascal's talking about here is that like the infinite sphere whose center is everywhere and circumference is nowhere. It seems like he really gets the idea. Krishna doesn't play by our rules, right? We want everything in Krishna to fit into our little rules, right? Actually, they're his rules. Krishna makes the rules. We're the ones stuck under them. We think everything is bound by some laws of physics we see in this world. But when you're the lawmaker, you're not limited to your own laws. Interesting, isn't it?
It
And
is.
here's where it hits home for us. We
Okay.
walk through this world assuming the laws we experience here are absolute universal, like there's no getting around them. But the fact is, there's no real evidence that that's the case. Just because laws apply in one space doesn't mean they apply in another. And
Yeah.
as soon as you start to think like that, really anything can be possible. And this is where we get stuck. It blows open your understanding of what can be true, what life can mean, how God can work in your life. Suddenly, you're not in this little box, boxed in by your limits of this little material corner of existence.
Right.
You're living with the vision that there can be some kind of meaning to life that, like that's way beyond what we have experienced and are experiencing in this little tiny distracted life that we live. There's a whole nother set of rules. Stop trying to figure out God. Stop trying to figure out God. Stop trying to figure out the universe. I mean, you can, but there's every chance you're not going to get it completely because we're tiny in many ways.
Okay.
What do you think about that, Kaustubha?
I'm with you, Raghunath. In other words, you know what, and you and I have talked about this before, but one thing that I always appreciated, I remember when I first got involved, practicing bhakti, like I became like a brahmachari, right? I became like a monk. And Gunagrahi Das Goswami, one sannyasi, invited me to travel with him. That's how I broke out, right?
Yeah.
It was like my
That
entry.
was your.
Yeah, he said, "You want to come travel with me?" I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And we went across the country, and we ended up in San Diego. And there's a nice temple there in San Diego, still there, right?
Still there.
And in that temple at that time, there was like a whole host of really good speakers.
Yes. I
Right?
remember.
So it was like every day of the week, it was like, oh him, oh my
They're
God.
all
It was just like,
scientists. They're all
well,
scientists or
they weren't all.
scholars.
They all had different angles. They were brilliant in different ways. But you did have this scientist there, and in particular, you had Sadhuputta there, Dr. Richard
Sure.
L. Thompson, I think, right?
Yeah.
S. Thompson, L. Thompson, I think,
Thompson.
and who's written some fascinating books. But he would take a verse that anyone else might just look at it and say, "Oh, it's a quaint little story" or something like that, and he would assume that Bhagavatam means more, right? Like this isn't. There's a lot. This goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
Right? It not only, you see, we're going to read about Krishna's mother looks in his mouth and she sees the entire universe. She even sees herself and him inside his mouth.
Right.
And when the commentators in our lineage speak on this, especially what they talk about is her response to this in terms of rasa, as we were discussing yesterday, right? In terms of like, oh, like normally a mother should be going, what is going on? How is the universe in my child is God? What is happening here? She could not compute that because of her motherly affection was so strong that it just kind of like came and went. She just kind of shook it off. And it has something to do with the strength of her motherly affection and how this most intimate bhakti, the most intimate love, this most intimate prema, it doesn't accommodate the idea that Krishna is God. I can't see him that way. I see him as my boy, right? So there's a lot of commentary in that end, but I always appreciated that someone like Sadhuputta would take a verse like that and say, how can we understand this scientifically? What are the implications? Because it sounds like fairy tale.
Right.
But does it have to be? Do we have to see it as fairy tale? Or are there ways that we can look at these things and assume, if we're willing to assume that there may be something more here to dig out of this, then there's the possibility of us discovering something. And so, like, one things that people like that would share, and scientists like that would share, is that when scientists got to this level of quantum physics, do you know what quantum physics means? Because
I don't know what it means, truthfully. I don't know how to distinguish it between other types of physics.
quantum means it's getting to very, very tiny particles. When science advanced to the stage where they could study like electrons,
Yeah.
right, like these subatomic particles,
Yeah.
up until the previous century, that was not accessible.
Sure.
But, when the equipment improved and then the theory started to develop, what was being observed on that subatomic level, then quantum physics developed. And what happened when they got to quantum physics was something that was extraordinary, was that they found that the laws that everyone had always assumed were universal didn't apply on this subatomic quantum level,
It's interesting.
right?
Huh?
So there's a whole world going on
A
around us
whole
all
nother
the
world
time.
that doesn't fit into whatever we thought was happening.
Exactly.
It
That we
blew
assumed.
open the whole scientific understanding of reality.
Yeah. So there's something called quantum superposition.
Oh, I never heard that.
Well, I'm about to share with you. And I didn't really hear about that until I did a little research.
You shouldn't have said you'd done any research.
Just
you
acted
would've
like
blown
I-
my mind. Yeah, you don't know about quantum
Let's talk
superposition? I
about
was like,
quantum
I
superposition.
missed that day in
Quantum
school.
entanglement. Quantum superposition means that one thing can be in two places simultaneously.
One thing can be two places simultaneously.
Now, according to the previous laws of physics, that is not possible. If you have, a baseball in your palm, it can't be over there on the table. It's got to be in one of the two places. It can't be in two places simultaneously.
This is all real. Everything we've been talking about since we started this whole Krishna conscious journey is all real.
It's all real. Now, you
All
actually,
these mystical things, it's all real.
you see what Achyuta just posted on the chat board. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Like if you have, they did this. I'm not going to get too into it, but if you have like two slits on one, like let's say a wall, and then behind that there's another surface, and they're shooting electrons through those slits, they were able to see that these electrons one electron was present in many places at one time.
Interesting.
And they just did not have an explanation to explain it according to the laws of physics. So two things can be, now we're going to read about in Bhagavatam how Krishna is going to be in the palaces of Dvārakā.
Yeah.
And Narada is going to go around there and he's going to see he's got 16,108 wives. Well, that's going to be a problem because how are you going to spend time with every one of them?
Yeah. How's that going to work, Krishna? You got to figure it out. Don't worry. Don't question Krishna.
Now we could just say, well, anything's possible. This is God, and He can do so many things. But here's a way that even within the realm of matter, we can see that one thing can be in two places or more simultaneously. It just shows that don't take these ancient texts and try to squeeze them into, they're a square peg and I can't fit into the round hole of reality. No, your understanding of that round hole is like so limited, our understanding of that round hole. And occasionally there are scientific discoveries that show us that, right? One thing can be in two places simultaneously. There's another thing called quantum entanglement.
Tell me about that.
It means that two particles can instantaneously be connected across vast distances. It's not even like the speed of light. At the same instance, you move one thing and the other thing is moved, no matter what the distance. And not like a message was sent, but it's entirely connected. It's saying that physical distance is irrelevant. In our world of physics, as we've always known it, physical distance is meaningful.
So interesting. This is like things appearing in your hands, like
Prapti City.
Prapti City.
Yeah, it's saying that it basically just proved that if we're going to assume that the laws of physics as we know them are universal, then we're just not being creative enough in our thinking, and we're
Great way
limiting
to put it.
Yeah.
creative enough, creative enough in our thinking.
Yeah, we need to expand. This is why Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge, because if you can't imagine that our realm is limited and the laws that are operating here um, are not necessarily universal, that there could be a whole nother set of laws that are operating that we are unaware of or not perceiving. Even they may be all around us. Like that law of quantum superposition, it was always there. Oh, it's surrounding us all over the place, and we didn't know about it.
Hmm.
And so a scientist with a mind like Sariputta or Dr. Richard Thompson, he would read a verse about Mother Yaśodā looking into Krishna's mouth and seeing the entire universe. No, there are verses, right? Brahma Samhita, Andantarastam Paramanu Charantarastam. What is it? That all the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every atom scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time.
That makes no sense.
Yes, such is the
According to my
primeval Lord
laws.
whom I adore. This is
Yeah.
Lord Brahma speaking, right? The creator of the universe. And now one may say, okay, that's, you know what? I'll give it to you. That's some cool writing. Like that's, like great science fiction you're coming up with here,
Yeah,
But that's only if you're going to make the assumption that cannot be established empirically that the laws of physics are universal, right? If we're going to be truly objective, we have to accept the idea that maybe the laws that we're aware of are not everything, and that there may be other sets of laws, or those laws may be transcended. And so Bhagavatam is pointing us to this idea again and again. And so when we look at Mother Yaśodā looking to Krishna's mouth, we're looking at it on two angles. One is this Rasika angle, which is once you've accepted that these laws, that Krishna isn't bound by these laws, and we aren't ultimately bound by these laws, then you can actually enter into the real realm that we're meant to enter into, the realm of rasa, right? That look at Yaśodā, right? She's not bound by the laws. Her body is not bound by the laws of time, right? She can exist in that beautiful form eternally, right? And her consciousness is not affected by the modes of material nature. She's not being swung this way and that way due to her, let's say, weakness, or her smallness has her, being thrust in this direction and that direction due to the influences of the material realm. She's beyond that, and she's operating in an entirely another realm, an entirely another stage of consciousness, which is our original state of consciousness, pure love, and she's there eternally. We could be as well. So that when
Quite fascinating, huh?
it's fascinating. I mentioned this last week, but when we were in Los Angeles, we went up onto that balcony, and there was that painting of I don't know who painted that painting, but whoever did, they were blessed, because it's conceived so well, right? That Yaśodā, she's looking into her boy's mouth, and the way that they showed it was not like it didn't open up his mouth and you're looking in. It showed the sky
Behind.
Yeah, as being everything in the universe was projected in the sky, and she's looking in, and the verse, maybe not in this verse, I think it is in this verse. It says that she was doe-eyed, right? And the commentators say different things. Like part of it is because sometimes a deer, like a deer in the headlights, when you see that deer, it's got this look of astonishment on its face, kind of wonder. So that's part of it. And part of it's just her beauty. She had just large, beautiful, dark eyes. But that painting captured it, where, her love for her son is so intense. He's this little boy that I need to take care of, and suddenly the universe is in his mouth. What is going on? That moment. And then in an instant, that moment is covered by her love, her maternal love. And she's just right back to loving him as his mother. Very deep, these texts, right? They're not shallow little stories. These are incredible.
We read them. We have children's storybooks of Krishna looking, Krishna's mother looking in his mouth. So that it does read like a child's fairy tale.
Yeah.
And then you get into this deep science behind it.
Yes.
And we've always just, you and me were just like, yeah, we just accept that there's things we can't understand. But when these scientific minds get into it, it's like a whole nother
Dimension opens up.
a whole nother dimension opens up.
I heard a class recently. I was listening to a class by Shivaram Swami,
Yeah.
and he was sharing something interesting. He was talking about Leela, Krishna's Leela, how here's God engaged in play. And he was sharing the fact that, when Krishna's engaged in these pastimes, it's not like he's playing, like pretending. He's fully absorbed in it so that he's experiencing it just as a child experiences. Because that's his whole point. He wants to experience love in all these different varieties. He's not pretending. But he was saying, and then he gave the example of just like when children play, they can become like lost in the play.
Yeah.
Right. And then he said, these children that grow up as devotees and that are their play, like when I was a kid, we used to play cops and robbers or like war, like pretend we're like in a war or something
Yes,
like
that's
that.
all I played. Cops and robbers and war. Isn't that weird? That's what I played.
That's what boys do. And you get lost in that. So he's saying, but these kids that grow up as devotees, they play like Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Ravana. Okay, you be Ravana, I'm going to be Ram. We find that even Krishna does that himself, right? Like when we read about the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram when he comes as Nityananda, there's incredible stories in
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Of Nityananda getting completely absorbed in the pastimes of Ram, playing the role of Lakshman, right, which is really himself. But in any case, his point was that these children that grow up as devotees and that they play in their childhood, getting lost in playing the roles of Krishna and Rama and their devotees. He said that's a very enviable state of consciousness that these little kids are entering into, where you just become lost and full absorption in Krishna's Leela. It's a beautiful thing. Somehow we have to get our minds absorbed in it. And that's what these holidays like Janmashtami are all about, right? Like,
yeah, you spend a day. You spend a day and say, this day's for you, Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get
But
on.
meanwhaile, we're hearing about Krishna getting lifted up in the air by the whirlwind.
Yeah, we're in whirlwind right now. Let's start with our invocation.
Okay.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam dato jayam madirayat. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmadatam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7, Text 27. Srinivarsa's in town.
Yeah, he's a shapeshifter who's taken the form of a tornado, essentially. Yeah, they call it a whirlwind, but it's like a tornado.
Yeah.
And he's captured little Krishna. He's lifted him way up into the air. Like, I guess he was planning on like throwing him down or something, right?
Yeah. Letting him go.
Get
high,
him way
letting
up
him
high
go.
and let him go. What kind of thing to do is that?
It's horrible to do to a baby. Okay. Text 27. Because Krishna's weight.
Yeah. Little boy.
Because of Krishna's weight, Srinivarsa considered him to be like a great mountain or a hunk of iron. Krishna made himself very heavy.
Okay.
But because Krishna had caught the demon's neck, the demon was unable to throw him off. He therefore thought of the child as wonderful. In this case, it means something like, this is unbelievable, since he could neither bear the child nor cast aside the burden.
Oh, he got stuck.
He got stuck now. He's going to let him go, but he couldn't let him go.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw him
He
off,
could
but I
barely lift him
can't. Yeah.
with
He's dragging
Krishna
me down.
grasping him by the throat. Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if it's Krishna, it's probably nice also. Srinavarta choked, unable to make even a sound, or even to move his hands or legs. I didn't even know he had hands or legs. I thought he was a wind.
Well, no, look at the painting over here. I mean, we don't see his legs, but they must be inside that wind.
Okay.
Over here, Achyuta.
His eyes popping out, the demon lost his life, along with the little boy down, along,
Life and
lost his
fell.
life and fell along with the little boy down to the ground of Brudge.
Yeah.
By the
Now-
way,
yeah.
side squirrel here, but have you seen the Nrsimhadev movie yet?
I haven't seen it, but I'm
People are
hearing
talking
everybody
about
going
it.
crazy about it.
People are going into the theater like bowing down, taking off their shoes. I kid you not.
I hear people. It's like people are crying and everything.
Yeah.
How do you see it?
It's playing places.
Is it playing in New York?
I think so. It's
Why
playing
don't we go see it
everywhere.
this
It was
weekend?
playing in Albany, but I was out of town, so I'm going to see if it's playing tonight.
Okay. Now like when we're hearing this, like, oh, this little baby, he
Yeah.
became like super heavy. Well, come on, how do you do that? And again, I love to think of someone like Sariputta.
He would have
You know,
described. Yeah.
He had he was a classic scientist in the sense he was like a gentle soul, very intellectual, and he had that kind of, I don't know if absent-mindedness is the right word for him, because I don't see him that way, but just like he was in his own head, like
Going his
so
own head,
much,
thinking about stuff
he-
deeply.
Yeah, someone's thinking on a different level, and they're just like always thinking. But I just love thinking of him saying, "Okay, now how would Krishna become heavy?" Right? And he would begin to think of possibilities of how it could be, right? How it might be that one apparently limited form, right? Like his, this Pascal was saying that his, what was it? A sphere that has its center is everywhere, but its circumference is nowhere, right? It's like it appears that Krishna has this form that has a certain circumference, right? And by that we in our world of physics we think circumference means limitation,
Right.
but he would say not necessarily, right? Everything could be within that, and that could extend everywhere. And so how would this form, this little baby form, become unlimitedly heavy? How would it increase in weight? And he would begin to think about how that might be possible.
Speaking of geniuses, guess who's coming to our house tonight?
Pradyumna Prabhu.
Pradyumna,
Yeah, he told me.
the translator of the Bhagavatam.
Not translator.
Wasn't he? He was the
Editor. Sanskrit editor.
Oh, I
Sanskrit
thought
editor.
he was a translator. Prabhupada was a translator.
Prabhupada translator, yeah.
He was
He
the
was the
editor.
Sanskrit editor.
It's pretty good. Traveled with Prabhupada all over the world. We're going to pick his brain, me and Mara.
Pick it.
Pick his brain for Prabhupada's stories.
Oh, that's interesting. He's never really gone, not that I'm aware of, right? Gone into the telling all the Prabhupada stories.
And he's got a lot. He's one of these people that spends so much time with
More than
Prabhupada.
anyone.
Yeah.
More than anyone. Yeah.
While the gopis who had gathered were crying for Krishna, the demon fell from the sky onto a big slab of stone.
Ouch.
His limbs dislocated,
Ooh.
as if he had been pierced by arrows of Lord Shiva, like Triparasura.
Triparasura. You know that story?
Yeah, that's the. I don't know
Tripura.
actually the whole story, but it was like
I think it says
It's l-
Tripurasura, but I think it's actually 3 different demons that had like, here we go back into the science fiction again, right? Like had like floating cities,
yeah,
right? And Shiva took them all down.
destroyed them.
Yeah.
The gopis immediately picked Krishna up by the chest, from the chest of the
chest.
demon, and delivered him free from all inauspiciousness to Mother Yaśodā.
Here you go.
Because the child was taken into the sky by the demon, he was unhurt, and now free from all danger and misfortune. The gopis and the cowherd men, headed by Nanda Maharaj, were extremely happy.
Huh. Because she would remember just a moment ago, this whirlwind tornado took in, and it was almost like everyone was blinded by it.
She was in great anxiety.
And she was reaching around because she had just put Krishna down and she couldn't find him. She's
It
coming
was
back.
most astonishing that although this innocent child was taken away by the Rakshasa to be eaten, he has returned without having been killed or even injured. Because this demon was envious, cruel, and sinful, he has been killed for his own sinful activities. This is the law of nature. An innocent devotee is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a sinful person is always vanquished for his sinful life.
Whoa. Say that again.
An innocent devotee is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a sinful person is always vanquished for his sinful life.
This is the law of nature.
Yeah, it's too bad. All right.
32.
Nana Maharaj and the others said, "We must previously have performed austerities for a very long time. Maybe even worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, performed pious activities for public life, constructed public roads and wells." These are all like pious activities. Also, perhaps given in charity. And as a result of which this boy, although faced with death, has returned to give us happiness to his relatives.
Yeah.
Right? They're thinking, oh, we must have had some good
Yeah,
karma.
there's no way that this kid
Can
is
save himself.
saving himself. It must have been our good karma. We must have done something. I don't even know what it is, right? But maybe in a previous life, I built roads for people or dug wells for people. These are all the practical things that require a lot of hard work, but everybody benefits from, right?
It's also this idea, I know in my own life too, it's like anytime something good happens for me, I want to take credit for it.
Yeah.
It's a type of illusion. They're doing this illusion in the spiritual realm, but we take, I've done this, so that's why I have this reward. I've been like this, that's why there's a reward. We have no idea why we're getting the ups and downs that we're getting in this world. Sometimes our ups are by the well-wishing prayers of people that have loved us. And we want to take credit for our own spiritual life like it's our doing and our great choices. People could have been praying ardently in the same way I pray ardently for people. People could have been praying ardently for us to take a step towards closer to God. What do you think about that?
It's very possible. We don't know. Raghunath, I saw just this morning. I saw this was good. It was Shubha Vilas Prabhu.
Yeah, love him.
It was a little clip. Okay, I'm checking it right now, and I was hoping that some of what he was saying may have been included in the description of it. But he was comparing I guess you could call like the Western view to the Eastern view in terms of karma. The Western concept and the Vedic concept, and where it starts and where it ends, and the implications of it. The implications of when you think that life begins at birth and ends at death, and what that conception does to how you respond to life. And then you compare that to the idea that, no, this lifetime is just one lifetime. It's a very short thing. Things from previous lives are affecting me in this life, and what I'm doing in this life will affect my next life. How that changes potentially, not just how you see the world, but how you behave and react in this world, how it affects your psychology, how it affects your decision-making and all of that. It's a really interesting subject, but it's playing out right here. And again, within the realm of Rasa, where there's no way that they can think that their little boy is responsible for what just happened.
Right.
So they're saying, oh, in a previous life we must have done something. That's why this has happened. They're thinking in a broader context.
How was Blaise Pascal a child genius?
How was Blaise Pascal a child genius?
Right. It's just these are random things. And why did he die at 40? Are these random things?
Yeah, I saw some video of a really little girl playing piano, like some classical piano, like just on some insane level.
Who can understand this?
Yeah, I just said, come on, man. Kids that young don't have that kind of coordination.
Right.
Right. You're playing something really complicated with your right hand and something really complicated with your left hand at the same time. You're doing it effortlessly. You're going on and on and on.
Yeah. What was young Raghunath doing at that age? Like ridiculous, very ridiculous amounts of destruction and
destroying
coloring on the walls,
destroying insects,
burning insects with magnifying glasses. Yeah, you can't explain that thing except that it's a practice. They have been practicing for lifetimes.
Yeah.
And it just seems, it's peculiar. It's not peculiar. It's very, very normal. You pick up where we last left off. Huh?
Yep.
Having seen all these incidents in Brihadavan, Nanda Maharaj became more and more astonished and remembered the words spoken to him by Vasudeva in Mathura, which was, beware, it's going to go down. So one day, Mother Yaśodā, having taken Krishna up on his lap, placed him on her lap. One day, Mother Yaśodā, having taken Krishna up and placed him on her lap, was feeding him milk from her breast with maternal affection.
That's right.
The milk was flowing from her breast, and the child was drinking it. Oh, King Parikshit, when the child Krishna was almost finished drinking his mother's milk, and Mother Yaśodā was touching him and looking at his beautiful, brilliantly smiling face, the baby yawned. And Mother Yaśodā saw in his mouth, right? She didn't see his baby teeth.
No.
She saw the whole sky.
Okay.
She saw the entire sky. Imagine that.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mara, check out. I think I have a loose tooth in there. And all she's looking in there.
Whoa.
What? She's, I see Jupiter. The higher planetary systems, the Earth, the luminaries in all directions, the sun, the moon, the fire, the air, the seas, the islands, the mountains, right? You look at my mouth and you see a waterfall. Imagine that. Mara? And all kinds of living
Rivers,
entities,
forests.
moving and non-moving. You see the demigods, Mara. Imagine seeing Brahma, Agni.
Okay, why don't we read the commentary to this one
35, 36.
by the arrangement?
Okay. By the arrangement of Yogamaya, Krishna's pastimes with Mother Yaśodā were all regarded as ordinary. So here was an opportunity for Krishna to show his mother that the whole universe is situated within him. In his small form, Krishna was kind enough to show his mother the Virat Rup, right? The universal form, so that when she could enjoy seeing what kind of child she had on her lap. The rivers have been mentioned here as the daughters of the mountains. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they're born from the river is born from the mountain.
Like Parvati means the
Like
daughter of the
whether
mountain.
it's just from rain or whether it's from like glaciers up there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right.
But that's what Parvati means, right? She's the daughter of the mountain.
Yeah.
The rivers have been mentioned here as the daughter of the mountains. It is flowing of. It is the flowing of the rivers that makes big forests possible. There are living entities everywhere, some of them moving and some of them non-moving. No place. This is very interesting. No place is vacant.
Right.
It seems like things are vacant. Nothing
What
is
about the
vacant.
desert? No. There's
No.
life all over
No.
the place, right?
There's things you can't even perceive
in the air?
desert. Yeah. There is a special this is a special feature of God's creation. Oh, trivia question for Miss Mara. Get on your mic, Miss Mara. Maloba Mara. So it seems like Mother Yaśodā was shown the universal form. Can you name other times where the universal form was shown?
Akura, when he was bringing Krishna to Mathura.
That wasn't a universal
That
form.
was, I think he saw Goloka Vrindavan or saw the spiritual.
He saw
one.
Krishna and Balaram in the river. That wasn't the universal form.
Arjuna.
Arjuna on the
That's
chariot
that-
and the Bhagavad
that'll
Gita.
work.
Yep, that was that. We're gonna give that.
Okay. Is there another time?
Two more.
2 more. Can I get a hint?
Mahabharat, Krishna the envoy.
Oh, we're gonna.
That was too much.
Does Duryodhana see it?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yep.
Duryodhana saw it.
And the last one?
Kaustubha, you got another one?
Well, at least one.
Tell me.
Advaitacharya saw the universal form.
Yep, come on. We're not dropping off the different books and leelas.
Well, when did you say it was limited to what is your
I don't-
limitations? Why does that not count?
I said when else did? Okay, all right. I guess you're
And
right.
Anuchandra says when Krishna ate dirt.
Yeah, you see, actually, we're
I thought
seeing
that
here that
that
Mother Yaśodā
yeah.
saw it twice, right? Because
Oh
once,
yeah. He's saying she's
Yeah. I was yeah, I didn't realize
It's a
that.
different time.
yeah.
That's a story that I'm familiar with. I'm not familiar with. I didn't realize that
This one, yeah,
that
this
Yaśoda
one's a
saw
little
it right
side
after this.
squirrel, actually.
Little-
Yeah.
It's like the forest fire. There's two forest fires, and there's two looking in Krishna's mouth.
At least,
Yeah.
but two mentioned here, yeah. Yeah,
All right.
so yeah, but the next verse, last verse for the chapter.
All right. Gonna do it. We're gonna do it, Mara. We're gonna make it.
Let's do it.
Text 37. When Mother Yasoda saw the entire universe within the mouth of her child, her heart began to throb.
Oh,
And in astonishment, she wanted to close her restless eyes.
why don't you read the commentary, Raghunath? This is going to speak on the Rasika level, I think, here.
Ooh, okay. I'm ready for that.
Right, the emotion she was feeling, the motherly love, what this was doing to it.
Because of her pure maternal love, Mother Yasoda thought that this wonderful child, playing so many tricks, must have had some disease. She did not appreciate the wonder shown by her child. Rather, she wanted to close her eyes. She was expecting another danger, and therefore, her eyes became restless, like those of a deer cub.
Cub?
Oh, a deer cub.
They call it a little fawn.
Little deer fawn, a little deer cub. This was all the arrangement of Yoga Maya. The relationship between Mother Yasoda and Krishna is on one of pure maternal love. In that love, Mother Yasoda did not very much appreciate the display of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's opulence.
Yeah, I think when Prabhupada says here pure maternal love, what he means is that her love is pure in the sense that she can only see him as her boy. She can't see him any other way. She can't see him as Vishnu. She can't see him as God. She can't see him as the creator or any of that stuff. It's pure maternal, right? I can only see him as from the viewpoint of a mother.
It was amazing that before Prabhupada translated these books, the world really
Didn't know.
had no clue. Like, this is also...
Most of the world still doesn't know.
Yeah, most of the world doesn't. But there was no,
out
practically
there.
speaking, no opportunity
Yeah.
to understand God like this.
Now
Look
that
at
this
that-
Nishringadeva movie is out, anything could happen.
Anything.
Okay.
I
read
wonder
the-
if people will get it outside the... I mean, devotees are all excited. But I wonder if people will get it outside, like,
Well,
wait, this is God.
I'll say this,
Mayan
Raghunath.
God.
That when Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, are brought into the popular culture, anything becomes possible, right? And it's chipping
Sure.
away. It's it's spreading it wider. It's spreading ideas wider.
Just like prashad distribution or kirtan,
Those things as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. In that love, Mother Yasoda.
Okay. In this way,
In
in
that
that
love.
love, Mother Yasoda did not very much appreciate the display of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's opulences. At the beginning of this chapter, 2 extra verses sometimes appear. Isn't that interesting?
That kind of side squirrel, yeah.
Sometime, right?
Mhm.
And this is one of them. In this way, to chastise and kill the demons, the child Krishna demonstrated many activities in the house of Nanda Maharaj, and the inhabitants of Braj enjoyed these incidents.
And
To increase the transcendental pleasure of the Gopas and the Gopis, Krishna, the killer of the demons, was thus raised by his father and mother, Nanda and Yasoda.
finally,
And finally, Parikshit Maharaj then requested...
Shripad Vijayadvaj.
Okay, Shripad Vidayajvaj Tirtha also adds another verse after the third verse in this chapter. Parikshit Maharaj then requested Sukadeva Goswami to continue speaking such narrations about the pastimes of Krishna so that the king could enjoy from them transcendental bliss.
You know what's happening right here, Raghunath?
What?
I think I mentioned this to you before, but I heard a great talk by Radhika Raman Prabhu, Professor Ravi Gupta,
Yeah.
where he was describing how I've heard several actually, but he's described that when it comes, I really love the practical way that we can look at Shastra in this tradition. You look at these ancient texts. But you with me?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about? I met Ravi Gupta.
Yeah,
I
you
met
weren't with
Professor
me.
Ravi Gupta's father.
Okay.
in LA, and he said, "Raghunath, do you remember me?" I was like, "I'm not sure." And he said, "You stayed at my house in 1991."
Wow.
And we stayed at Ravi Gupta's house
So
before
he must have been just a boy at the time.
he wasn't even born.
Wow. Okay. So now he's
Anyway.
a professor and he's got
He's
children,
done so much, and I'm still here, struggling in the material world.
Still on tour.
Thanks a lot. Oh, I need a do-over. I'm hoping in my better life. I hope in my next life I get a better instrument for
Your
devotional
instrument is fine.
service.
Raghunath. Now let me share.
No,
this,
it's not.
okay?
It's a little chipped,
Okay.
a little broken.
But he was sharing that the fact is that the way time works is that even in published literature, it can become weakened and lost, right? The translations can
Sure.
get varied.
Sure.
Now, he said in Mahabharata, we see that. We see vast differences in Mahabharata. It's, in other words, the text becomes corrupted, as it spreads from this place to that place.
Yeah.
People add verses. He was saying, like with Mahabharata, every state in India, which are all
Got their
like
own
separate
story.
kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it might be helpful for the king to build in a little something in there, and-
Yeah, you build a little in to endorse his kingdom.
yeah, and or to endorse whatever he wants, and they're the ones that are funding the translations or the copying of the texts, the scribes and all of that. So in one sense, Mahabharata for us is not a fully dependable text.
Sure.
Although,
We like it.
no, not just that. Although across the board, Bhagavad Gita is steady. Wherever you go, those verses are just the same way. There's almost zero differences, and when there are differences, they're not at all. They don't change the meaning of it whatsoever.
Hmm.
He said Bhagavatam is another text like that. If you take all the Puranas, they're like all over the place, but Bhagavatam is very well preserved. Wherever you see it, it's steady.
Except for these two verses.
So what they're saying is, in the way that this is being demonstrated is when we do see a difference, then these commentators are saying some versions say this, and so they're just kind of pointing out, there are some differences. Here's an example, but there's so few examples of this that it's one way of establishing its steadiness, and even here we're seeing it doesn't change the meaning of it. So Bhagavatam, because it's been so well preserved, that it's a place that we can go to kind of count on as being authoritative. All right.
Like it.
What's up, Roga?
Just thinking. Just thinking about stuff.
He's gone as far as he can in the show, Mayor. I think.
You know what? I don't get a tip today. You don't have to tip me today.
Okay.
I give you 15%.
I think you did great,
15%.
Raghunath. I think you did great today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this is a no tip day. Just walk away from the counter without pressing the iPad. Sign your name and walk. We had to face off with this whole tipping thing this weekend because it was.
No.
Yeah, we did. We just decided, you know what? This doesn't deserve a tip. I'm just walking away from the iPad. And
That's
then when
heavy.
we felt like you're not going to clear my table, you're going to hand me something. You get no tip for this.
Yeah, like at the local vegan ice cream place around the corner here.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Like you can. It's not only vegan, but they have like a lot of vegans.
yeah.
But you can walk to the, like a lot of people go up and they make a special or give me a cone with these many sprinkles and this kind of this and that. And, you can get like an
But that's what they
individualized-
do.
But even that being said, if you go and just like take a quart out of the freezer and walk up and pay for it, it's like saying,
You want
how
a
much
tip
of a
for that
tip,
too?
yeah, do you want?
Yeah, I picked it up. I picked it up. Come
Come
on.
Yeah.
You know what? And then they look at you in the eye like this. Like here are just okay. There's one
Now
more.
that's your
process.
imagination.
There's
See,
one more
no.
process now. Now
We don't
you just
even
gotta,
know if they can see
before
whether
to get to the final checkout screen. You got to look at this screen, look me back in the eyes.
Now you see, Mara, I want to draw our attention to something that we've discussed on the show before. I don't remember exactly what it
My
was called.
paranoia. I'm curious if they can see how much we're
Raghunath,
tipping.
hear me out.
I want to see if they can.
There was this experiment that was done, right?
Okay.
Where they painted a scar on people's face,
Oh yeah.
right? And then they sent them into a job interview. But just before they to see if they would be affected by the scar, the job interviewer would, treat them differently.
Mhm.
And then, but just before they left for the interview, they would remove it, the scar, so the person going into it thinks they have a scar on their showing on their face, but
okay.
they actually didn't.
Mhm.
And they would come back and again they would report, oh yeah, they were looking right at my scar the whole time, and they definitely treated me different.
Okay, so you're
Raghunath,
saying I should just walk out of there.
what I'm saying
not
is,
give the tip.
when
I
you
don't
were
mind
just,
tipping. I like
hold on,
tipping. I think
Let
I'm
me
a good tipper.
let me continue.
It's just when they.
Let me continue. This is important, Raghunath. So when you were just saying they were staring at you with these eyes wide open like that, that could have been entirely in your imagination, Raghunath.
Sure.
And
Sure.
when you constantly think that I'm criticizing you, that also can be an example of that.
Although there may
I
be
wanted
some
to say.
truth there, Kaustubha, so maybe you should hear that. Just hear it. Just
I
hear.
know.
Empathy. Hear. Listen.
I like to
Let it
listen to you.
land.
Okay.
You know. Work through that
Yeah.
and then heal.
Yeah.
I can help you.
Maybe we should hear some takeaways.
You got heal. That's your message today. 4 letters for you, Kaustubha.
Okay. What are the letters?
H-E-A-L.
H-E-A-L. Heal. Okay.
Heal,
Spelled
heal.
it correct. H-E-E.
Thought I was going to H-E-E-L.
All right,
All
man.
right. There's a whole other world that doesn't fit in our paradigm.
Do you mean whole like H-O-L-E or W?
I meant WHO.
Because you could say it the other way too. There's a whole,
There's a whole.
and Krishna is the Purnam, the complete. Okay.
Imagination is more important than knowledge.
That's Einstein right there.
Mhm.
Like if I say, oh, that's really smart thing to say, Einstein. You'd be right in this case.
I go right to Einstein bagels. That's right.
Oh, Einstein.
Okay, go on.
Accept the idea that the laws of nature can be transcended.
It's accept that, Raghunath.
Accept.
Are other people have last names of Einstein, or when he had that name, is it like that name's over?
Everyone had to stop. I haven't met any Einstein.
I've never met an Einstein.
Oh.
Wouldn't that
doesn't
be
mean they're
great
not
if
out
that was
there.
your last name?
Well, check into
There's like a real
history of-
high bar for you, though.
Huh?
There's a real high bar for you if your last name is Einstein. Of like,
There's
what
a
the
real
frick
high
is
bar.
It's
Oh.
pretty
that?
tough.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like imagine if your name was Capone. Like would you
Einstein would be
would you
better.
change it? Would you change it if your name was Capone?
I think at this point it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It would matter if you're sort of like
Living in the
Stalin, Kaustubha
Stalin's pretty
Stalin.
rough.
I would change it. If my name was Raghunath Stalin, I'd change my name.
Right away.
Alright, get your mind fully absorbed in Krishna Lila.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
People may have been praying ardently for our spiritual life.
Ardently, Kaustubha.
Or even like maybe not ardently, but still praying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just you.
What are you talking about?
It's not just you and your endeavor towards spirituality that made who you are. You're in debt.
You too.
I know that. I'm fully aware of it. I brought it up.
All right.
You can count on the Bhagavatam.
Count on it,
You
Raghunath.
can count on the Bhagavatam.
Get that through your head,
Yeah.
okay?
And
Yeah.
God doesn't have to play by our rules.
No.
No, not at all.
Oh, beautiful
They're
people.
his rules,
There is rules. They're his rules.
and he can change them all.
There's no justice. It's just us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I want to thank all the people that contribute to the podcast. There's a lot of people out there. I went through the whole list.
Appreciate it.
2 days ago. And I was like, wow, them. They all gave to. Thank you for all the people contributing to the
Thank you.
podcast. It's grateful. We always go through that list. We look through and we pray.
How
and
can
we
someone
appreciate
become
it.
a monthly
Thank
donor?
you. How do you become a monthly donor? You go to wisdomofthesages.com and you contribute something, whatever you want to contribute.
It's called the Sage Community Platform. You get a lot of perks.
You get lots of perks. It's like a vault. You get a whole treasure trove of information, classes, workshops, and you just get to know that you're contributing to this boat continuing its float down the river of joy.